Hey Rowdy Coders, in my job search in 2021 and 2024, I have been interviewed at many companies. In this video, we'll be solving the questions that were asked in different interviews and mostly focusing on the output based questions. Believe me, this is one of the good collection of interview questions, and each and every question is very important, and if you are able to solve all of these questions, then you would be able to crack any output based interview question easily. And as it is important, you must watch the video till end without skipping. So yeah, let's start. Let's guess the output of this particular console statements. So here what happens is, when a number is compared with a string, right, type coercion takes place, and this particular string will be converted to number with type coercion, right? So 5 will be compared with number 15, and this is false. So false will be compared with 5 again here, and if you see the false after type coercion, it will be converted to 0, and 0 is less than 5, so it is true here. And similarly, when it comes to this, a type coercion takes place, and this 7 is compared with number 15, and this will be true here. And again, this true will be compared with the 7, and true will be converted to 1, and 1 is less than 7, so it is true again here. And similarly, this one also will be converted to number 85. Okay, this is true, so this true will be again checked with 5, and true means 1 will be greater than 5, no, so it is false. Let me run it and show the output for you. So here first one is true, second one is true, and third one is false. So yeah, let's guess the output of this particular code snippet. So here this one will be consoled first, and when it comes to this particular code snippet, the set timeout is a web API, so it executes little differently. Let me show this with the example. Set timeout is web API, so here that particular set timeout function, callback function, will be registered within this web API for 1000 milliseconds. Okay, and here as well, this particular set timeout will be registered with 0 milliseconds. And once after completion of this 1000 milliseconds, this will be pushed to task queue, and this task queue will be pushed to call stack, right? But once after completion of 1000 milliseconds, but when it comes to this console, this will be logged just after this one, and these are present in the web APIs, and after completion of this 0 seconds, this will be pushed to our task queue, and then this will be pushed to call stack, and call stack will execute this, and it will kind of output 3, and after 1 second only this particular callback will be pushed to call stack, and then this particular console will be logged. So let me run it and show the output. So here let me save it and let me run it here. So here after 1 second, if you see, 2 is logged here, right? So this is how it executes. Okay, and let's guess the output of the next question. So here what happens is, the set timeout is web API, and when it comes to these promises, this promise also works a little differently. Okay, one important point here is, the promises will have higher priority than set timeouts, because this set timeouts will be pushed to this task queue, and the promises will be pushed to micro queues. Task queues are nothing but macro queues, so this micro queues will have higher priority than macro queues. Okay, so whatever content is there in micro queue will be pushed to call stack in priority than the content in macro queue. So what happens here is, this console will be logged, and this will be this will be registering a web API, okay, for 1000 milliseconds, and this will be the same, and this will be pushed to our micro queue, and this will be logged. Okay, now this will execute the content present in this micro queue will be pushed to call stack. So here this is pushed to call stack. Now this particular function which is present in this then will be executed. Okay, so now this particular set timeout will be pushed to our web API with 0 milliseconds. Okay, now after 0 milliseconds means no time gap, but this will execute only after the call stack is empty. Okay, so now the call stack is empty, right? So this will be executed first, then this, because this pushed firstly. So this set timeout will be pushed to call stack from this task queue. Okay, so this is logged and then this is logged. Okay, and then after 1 second this particular two will be logged here. Let me run it and show the output for you. Okay, so here after 1 second this two will be logged, and this is the order. Okay, yeah, so let me comment this and let's go for the next question. Okay, this is a straightforward question. If you see, here for loop is there and a console is there within this for loop, so it's a straightforward question, and for every iteration this particular console will be logged. Okay, so this will give 0 1 2 3, and similarly this is a for loop, and for every iteration this console will be logged like 0 1 2 3. Okay, let me run it and show the output for you. Here 0 1 2 3 and 0 1 2 3 are being logged. But when it comes to the next question, I'll be showing the similar way. But here, if you see, there is a set timeout inside this for loop. Okay, guess the output of these. Okay, so this is also one of the famous question. If you see, this where is a function scoped. Okay, and let is block scoped. That is the difference. And for every iteration this set timeout will be executed, and after 500 milliseconds all of the set timeouts will start executing, right? So after 500 milliseconds this loop will be kind of I will be equals to 4, right? I till I equals to 3 it will execute, and I plus plus is 4, and 4 is less than 4 false, so then this loop will terminate. By then the I will be 4, right? So now as this where is function scoped, I will be equals to 4, so this set timeout will be executed like 4 4 4, like that it will kind of output. And when it comes to this let is block scoped, so for every iteration the set timeout will be a new function with a new value. So as this is block scoped, this will have 0 1 2 3, like that. And when it comes to this immediately invoked function, this also works like a block scoped function. Okay, and similar to this particular for loop, this also outputs. So let me run it and show the output for you for this. So here for first for loop, this particular 4 will be logged, and after 700 milliseconds this particular 0 1 2 3 will be logged, and after 400 milliseconds similar to this for loop 0 1 2 3 will be logged. Okay, so yeah, let's guess the next output question. Okay, so here what happens is, when an array is concatenated, then this particular array content will be converted to string. Okay, so here this array will be converted to A, and then this array will be converted to B string. Okay, so here again a concatenation takes place and AB will be logged in this console. When it comes to this, again this is an array, and arrays are concatenated, so this particular array will be equals to an empty string, and then this particular array will be is equals to an empty string. When empty string is concatenated to empty string, it will again give an empty string. And when it comes to this, understand that arrays are stored by reference, so this array is having some reference, so it is true, right? And when the negotiation of this truthy is equals to false, so this is the output. And when it comes to this is false as per the above output, so this is false. False plus an empty string will be again a false string. Okay, so let me run it and show the output for you for this. So here AB and then a empty string and then false and a false string. Okay, so yeah, let me comment this and let's guess the output for the next output based question. Similar to the first question, this also works in the similar way. Here 3 will be kind of compared with 4 and this is true, right? So true will be compared with 5. After type coercion, this will be equals to 1 less than 5 and it is true, so it is true here. In the similar way, 3 will be checked with 4, this is false. False will be greater than 5, no, right? False will be converted to 0, so false. 0 cannot be greater than 5, so it is false here. Okay, and the similar way, 3 is greater than 4, no, false. So false is greater than -1, yes, because false will be converted to 0 and 0 is greater than -1, so it is true here. Let me run it and show the output for you for this question as well. So here true and then false and then true here, right? So yeah, let me comment this and let's guess the output of the next question. So here if you see, we have created two promises and we are triggering two promise methods. One is promise.all and the other is promise.raise. Remember that these promise.all and promise.raise are very important methods. In some cases, interviewers might ask you to create polyfill for these methods as well. So just grab the concepts of these promise.all and promise.raise. Okay, so promise.all accepts an array of promises and then it will return an array of promises results. Okay, and when it comes to promise.raise, it also accepts an array of promises and it will return the promise that is resolved or rejected firstly. Okay, so let's guess the output here based on our statements. So here out of these two, here these two will be resolved here after 500 milliseconds, right? After 500 milliseconds this will give 1 and after 1000 milliseconds it will give 2, and 1 and 2 will be in an array because it will return an array of both of these results, right? And when it comes to this, so here it will be 1 comma 2, okay, in an array. And when it comes to this race, out of these two promises, this will return the promise that that resolves first. Here after 100 milliseconds this will be resolved, so this particular race will return the 2, right? So let me run it and show the output for you. So firstly 2 will be printed because this will wait for 500 milliseconds, but when it comes to this will wait for only 1000 milliseconds. So 2 will be logged first and then this particular array will be logged. Okay, so yeah, let me comment this and let's go for the other question. So here we have this snippet where these three are objects, and here we are again assigning a of b to 143. What exactly happens here means b will be nothing but object and object. So this b will be converted to object of object and this will be assigned here 143. And when it comes to this, c will be again converted to object of object. Okay, so a again will be equals to object of object and then this will be assigned to 286. Okay, so now when we try to console this, it will say a of object which latest value would be 286, so the output would be 286 for this. Okay, and when it comes to this console, b, if we convert to string, then it will give object of object. If we do json.stringify, then it will kind of convert this object to string, but if we trigger to string, then it will convert to this way. Okay, let me run it and show the output for you for this. So here, yeah, if you see, this is the same here. This will be this way. Okay, so yeah, let me comment this and let's go for this another question. So here we have created two objects which are almost similar, but objects are stored by references. So the reference to this particular object will be stored in h1 and the reference to this particular object will be stored in h2, and also h1 reference and h2 reference will be different here. Okay, and now h2 reference is being assigned to h3. So both of these objects will be same. When it comes to comparison with h1 and h2, reference to these are different, so it will give false here. Okay, and when it comes to this also reference are different, so it will also give false here. And here reference to this h2 and h3 are same, so it will give true here. Okay, and also remember, even though we are not doing a strict check here, it will give false because reference itself are different for both of these two, so that's why it gave false. Okay, so let me run it and show the output for you for this. So you have false, false, true, right? Let me comment this and let's go for the next question. Okay, so here it is also a similar kind of question where two arrays are there. Here arrays are also stored by reference, and then here array 2 reference is assigned to array 3. When we are comparing, what happens is the reference to this array and this array are different, so it will give false here. And when it comes to this, the reference of these two are same, so it will give true. Okay, and when it comes to this, right, we are kind of triggering true constructors which are different, right? So this will give false here. Let me run it and show the output here. So here false, false, true. Okay, let me comment this and let's guess the output of the next question. So this is also one of the good concept. To understand this concept, you should know AND operators properly and OR operators properly. And let me tell you how it works in AND operator means, when both of the items are true, then only it will give true. In other cases, right, in other cases it will always give false. Okay, it will always give false. In other cases it always give false for AND operator. Okay, so this 1 and zeros are nothing but true or falses. Okay, and in the similar way, ORs, how OR work means, OR will work for anything. If one false or one true are there, then it will give true only. Okay, and when both of these are false, then only it will be false. Okay, otherwise in other cases it will be true only for our scenario. Let's apply the same here. So here 1 and 2 both are trues, so it will be true. And while picking it, it will pick the last one here. Okay, the last one here. So here 2 will be picked here and 2 is compared with r here. When this is there, then it will be 1 only, which will be the positive here. Okay, so here this will be 2 for this. Okay, so 2 here and 2 will be compared with 3 here, and both are trues, so both are trues, so one will, so the first item will be picked here for this as well. So 2 will be the output for this console statement. When it comes to this console, null is false, right? When false and undefined is there, then what happens? False will be the output only, right? So here null will be the output. When it comes to this, 0 or 0 or 1 and then 2 will give 2, right? So this is 2 here, and 0 or 2 will be positive itself, and it will pick the second one here, 2 here, 2, and when compared with 3 again, it will kind of again truthy, so it will kind of give 2 here. Okay, it will kind of give 2 here again. In the similar way, this also, null is false, false RR this is equals to false will be null RR 2, and then 3 will be 3, right? And then this is nothing but 3 here. 3 when compared with 4, it will give kind 3 here. Okay, 3 here. So yeah, let me run it and show the output for you for this. Okay, some execution issue. Okay, let me comment these as well. Okay, let me run it. So here 2, right, 2, null, 2 and 3 are the outputs. Okay, and also remember two things. Okay, if end is there, if it is true, then it will always try to give the last result. If end gets false, then it will try to give the first result. Okay, and when it comes to the R, if truth is there, if the first one is true and second one is true, then the first one will be written. Okay, and if any of them are false, then whatever is true will be written. Okay, in case of R, this is how this will work in JavaScript. Okay, let me comment this and let's go for the next question. So here what happens is, when two strings are compared, then firstly, this G will try to compare with B. Okay, the comparison is nothing but ASCII values it will try to compare. So the ASCII value of G is 67 and the ASCII value of B is 62. So when they are checked, then it will kind of give true here. Okay, and in the similar way, this will be checked with capital L is less than small l. Okay, the ASCII value of capital L will be kind of little lesser, right, than the ASCII value of small values. So this will kind of give true only. Okay, and when it comes to this, what happens is S will be checked, S are same, and then U will be checked, U's are same, so it will go for B, B's are also same, and then S and G will be checked. S ASCII value would be greater, right, and G value will be a little lesser, so this will kind of give true here as well. And when it comes to this, right, it also does the same way. Here S is checked with small g, this is capital letters ASCII values are smaller than small alphabets, so this will give false here. So let me run it and show the output for you for this. So here true false will be logged here for this console. Let me comment these and let's go for the next one. So here both are strings, so type correction won't happen here. So here this 9 will be compared with 1 here, about to the similar format. Okay, 9 is greater than, right, greater than 9 ASCII value will be greater than 1, so it will kind of give true here. And when it comes to this, 9 will be compared with number 11, so now the type correction happens. Okay, and 9 will be converted to number 9 and then checked with 11 and it is false, right, and it is false, so it will give false here. And when it comes to this string will be converted to 0 here. Okay, 0 here, and 0 is greater than -1, yes, so it will kind of give true here. When it comes to this particular string will try to convert to number here, because this is being converted to number. After type conversion, what happens when trying to convert this to number, this will be na, right, and then checked with 1. When it is checked with this, it will kind of give false here, right. na is checked with 1, so it is kind of false here. And yeah, let me run it. Okay, so here let me run it. So true, false, and then true, and then false. Yeah, so let me comment these, and let's guess the output of these. So here these are a few of the important methods that we should try to know. Okay, so here round, what it does is it will kind of round off the values, and when it comes to floor, it will kind of give the floor values, and similarly the seal and absolute will also works. Okay, here absolute will kind of convert this to absolute value, which is positive value. So let me run it and show the output for you for this as well. So yeah, this is the output for this particular methods. Let me comment them, and let's go for the next question. So here we have two functions. Okay, but the difference is, while returning, this is returning below here, and this is returning just after return. So what do you think the output of this would be? In case of JavaScript, when a missing semicolon is present, it will try to put this semicolon here, and it will kind of return here. Okay, in case of this, it will there is some content after return, so it will return this particular object. But when it comes to this, as nothing is there here, it will kind of align a semicolon, and it will return here itself. So this will return nothing, and this will kind of return this. Let me run it and show the output for you for this. So yeah, this is nothing, undefined, because this is not returning anything, and when it comes to this will return this particular object. So yeah, let me comment this, and let's guess the output of this particular snippet as well. Okay, so here this array is having 5 elements, and so the length of this would be 5, and here we are kind of changing the length to 3. So here this particular array will have only the first 3 elements. Okay, your first 3 elements, and now when we try to console the length, it will have 3, and when we try to console the array, it will show only the first 3 elements. And now here we are deleting the 0th index. So what happens with deletion means, this particular array 0th index will be deleted, and now this will have an empty value. Okay, now when we try to console the array, it will kind of give this similar format. Empty will be somewhat a kind of different format, empty some undefined will be showing. Okay, now when we try to console the 0th index, there is nothing within it, so it will kind of give undefined here, undefined. Okay, and when we try to get the length, it will kind of give 3. Let me run it and see the output. So here 5, and then 3, and then 0 1 2 3, and then this empty here, empty item is there, and then undefined will be there, and then 3. Yeah, so let me comment this, and let's go for the other question. Let's guess the output of this snippet. So here, when an array is compared with string, this particular array will be converted to string here. So this will be converted to 1 2 3 string. So when we do this check, it will kind of give true, obviously, right? So it will be true. If we try to do a strict equality, then it will give false. Let me run it. Yeah, so it is true, right? So if we kind of do a strict equality check, then it will kind of return false, because array will be compared with a string, so it will be false for strict check. Okay, let me comment. Let's go for the other question. So here what happens is, this expression starts to execute from left to right, and here 3 plus 3 is 6, right? and then 6 when added with 3 string, a concatenation takes place and it will give 63, and then the 63 will be a string now. Okay, now when we again add with 3, a concatenation takes place and it will kind of give 3 here, and again when we try to add, it will kind of give 3 again to give this output. And for this one, left to right executions takes place, and then first is 3 and then 6, 10, 15. 15 will be the number here, right? And then 6 will be the string. When we try to add, it will concatenate to give 156. Okay, so this is how it actually outputs. Let me run it. So yeah, let's go for the next question. So here, this particular array is given, and this array content, which is the elements of this array, are being spread into the new array. Okay, so now the new array will be kind of similar. When we try to change here, array 1 of 0, which will be 0th, and then the first index, which will be this one, kind of changing it to 1 here. Okay, string 1 here, and array 1 of 0 0, we're again changing it to 0 here. Okay, we're again changing it to 0 here, and then array 1 of 1, which will be this one, we are changing it to 33, right? So this will be 33, and then here we are changing it to 22. 0th index, we are kind of changing it to 22. So now when we try to console one array 1, what happens is, this is what it actually gives. When it comes to the array 2, it will kind of give the same output, right? So let me run it and show the output for you for this. Okay, some 33 unexpected issue came. Okay, comma is not there, so let me run it and see the output for this. So here, yeah, so here array 2 and array 1 are same. Why? Because the elements of this array 1 are being assigned to array 2, which means these are again being assigned, these are arrays, so the reference to these are same for both of these elements, right? So that's why both of these arrays will be looking similar. Okay, so let's guess the output of this, where here where test arrow function is present, in which this is an arrow function, and we're trying to put this particular arrow function inside out. Okay, and when we call this function, this will be executed, and also when we call this particular test arrow function within this, then also it will execute. So now what happens is, in case of arrow functions, what happens is, in arrow functions, this refers to the global. So now this, which means in window.name won't be there, so it will kind of give undefined for both of these two items. And when it comes to this one, it is a normal function and a function is present. So what happens is, here means this particular item, if you see, 4 is being called here, and this particular item will have this, refers to this particular test function. So test function dot name will be equals to abc here. Let me run it and see the output for this. Okay, so here undefined, undefined, and abc. Okay, and let's comment this. Let's go for the next question. So here 0.1 and 0.3 is checked with 0.3, but one of the weirdest things about JavaScript is, when we try to add 0.1 and 0.2, then it won't actually give 0.3. That is the weirdest thing that I have observed recently. So it will kind of give false here, and when it comes to this, this will give proper result. And let's see how it actually outputs. Based on this output, we can actually judge this one. So let me run it and show this. Here, this is false and the other is again false. Okay, this one will also actually give a weirdest output. So that is the reason both of these are false. If you see, when we add, these are not actually giving 0.3 but 0 point some zeros later after 4 is present. In the similar way, this is also there. So these are false. Let me comment down these, and here this particular console will be logged first. So this set timeout is a web API and it is pushed to task queue, which is macro queue, and then this micro queue task will be pushed to micro queue. If you observe, the priority for the micro task will be higher than the macro task queue. The set timeout is macro queue and this is micro queue. So micro queue will have higher priority than macro queue. That is the reason firstly this will be logged, and later after this will be logged, and then this will be logged as this having lowest priority. So let me run it and see the output. So yeah, and let's comment this. Let's go for the other one. So here, while executing this snippet, what happens is an important concept hoisting will takes place, where all of the variable declarations will be moved to the top actually. So here this variable declaration, this particular declaration will be moved to top, but then for where hoisting will happen, which means this particular number will be assigned with undefined in the initial phase. Okay, so what I meant is, while executing this file, this particular var will be moved to top, and then this particular let will be moved to top. Okay, right? And then this particular num will be assigned with undefined in the initial phase, as this var will hoist. And when it comes to this num, this won't get hoisted, this won't be assigned with anything. So when we try to console, it will kind of give undefined. This will be undefined first initial phase, and when the num is assigned, it will kind of give 6 here. For num, right, what happens is, when we try to console num, it will trigger an error. Okay, let me run it and show the output for you for this. Okay, something happened. Okay, yeah, it is actually triggering an error. If you see, firstly undefined and then 6, and then an error is triggered, cannot access num before initialization. That is the reason actually. So yeah, let me comment this down, and let's go for the next question. One more important concept is generator functions. Generator functions means they can be stopped in middle of the execution, and we can kind of pause the execution after some time as well. That is what generator functions actually does. So here, generator function syntax will be something like this, where function star will be mentioned, and this particular gen is assigned here, gen dot next is there. In that case, this first yield will be printed, so the console would be 1 here. If we try to do the same again here, in that case it will kind of give second 2 as output for this. So let me run it and show the output for you for this. So here, yeah, firstly 1 and then 2. The generator's result would be something like this. So here value would be 1 and done would be false, and then similarly, and yeah, let's go for the next question. So here, this concept is closures concept, right? So here what happens is, closures means a function along with its lexical scope is called closure, which in other words, variables declared outside of the function can be accessed within the inner function is also called as a closure. So here what happens is, when we assign this to inner function, this particular return, which means this will be assigned to this inner function, and when we call this inner function, this particular function will be called. Okay, this particular inner function will be called, wherein this particular inner function try to return the name here. So here it will try to return the name here. name is not there within this particular function, but it will look for higher scope. Okay, here in the higher scope the name is available, so the name would be consoled over here. Okay, so this is called closures concept. Okay, but when it comes to this, right, then a function is nothing but this particular function. So then a function is nothing but this particular function. Okay, let me run it and show the output for you for this. So here this function will be the inner function, and then the Rowdy coders will be logged here. Let me comment this down. Let's go for the next question. Okay, so here this one will be logged first, and when it comes to this one, this set timeout with 0 milliseconds will be registered, and then it goes to this code, and here this promise will try to execute first, right? This promise will trigger this particular console. Okay, so this will be logged just after begins. Okay, just after begins this particular promise will be logged, and then this particular set timeout will be again registered. Okay, and then this particular then will be pushed to micro queue. Okay, so what happens now? We have the set timeouts, right? Now we have this set timeouts, and then we have this micro queue. Okay, set timeouts will be macro queues, and this is a micro queue. So this micro queue will have higher priority, right? So because of which this one will be executed just after this one. This will be executed, and then after this will be again pushed to macro queue, right? So we have this set timeout, this set timeout, and then we have this set timeout. So this is pushed first, so this will be logged in this one is there, so it will be logged first. Okay, and then we have this, and this will be pushed to micro queue, and we have content in macro queue, but micro queue contents are high priority, so this will be logged here. And later after that this particular set timeout is pushed, so the contents of this will be logged. Okay, so this will be logged here, and then this particular resolve will be resolved. Okay, and this particular resolve will be pushed to this result, and this is already logged. So now this set timeout will be logged now with this resolve value here, right? So this resolve will be the last one. Now let's see the output for this as well. So the first one is, if you see, begins, and then promise to, and then set timeout, and then promise one, and then set timeout 2, and then dot, then, and then okay. So here the thing is, what is happening means, if you see, after 0 seconds only, right, after 0 seconds only this will be resolved, right? So after 0 seconds only it will come to this 10, right? So that is the reason it kind of gives the output little differently. So let's rewrite the output properly. Okay, I hope you understood what I'm trying to mention here. If you observe, this is being resolved after 0 milliseconds, but then these set timeouts are pushed first, so these set timeouts will execute first, these two set timeouts, and then only after execution of those two only this particular resolve will be resolved, and then this will come to this place. So how it actually outputs means, so here first will be begins as per the previous mention. Okay, and when it comes to the second one, the set timeout will be registered. Okay, and then this promise will be called here. This promise will have high priority, right? So this particular promise 2 will be logged. Okay, this promise 2 will be logged here, and then this set timeout will be registered, and now we have two set timeout, this set timeout and this set timeout, right? So this set timeout is the first one that is pushed. So this set timeout will execute and this will kind of output this particular console. Okay, and then this promise will be kind of resolved, right? This promise will be executed because the promise will have high priority, and then this set timeout will execute, right? In this set timeout, what happens is this set timeout 2 will be logged, right? And then this particular resolve will be happening. So once after resolving, it will come to this then with this resolved value, and now this will be logged. Okay, this will be logged, and after that we have this set timeout. In this set timeout, right, we have the result, which is the resolve one, and this resolve one will be logged at the end. So this is the output, and let's compare this. Begin promise 2 set timeout 1, promise 1 set timeout 2 dot then, and then resolve. Yeah, this is as per the expectation. Just try to observe this once again, don't get confused, okay, like the way I have. So yeah, let me comment this and let's go for the next question. Okay. Let's guess the output of the next question. So here we have async functions, and then this particular console will be logged first. Okay, let me write it down. Okay, this particular console will be logged first, and then this set timeout will be registered, and then this async function will be called. So here is this async function, and in this async function this particular console will be logged. Okay, so here this will be logged, and then it will await for this particular async 2 function, wherein this async 2 function will be called. Here async 2 will be logged. Okay, but then what happens is this particular async 2 will call this, and this item, this function will stop executing. Okay, and after this it will kind of continue with the other ones, which will be this one, wherein this particular console will be logged here. Okay, and then this resolve will try to resolve. Okay, but then before resolving this is promise, this is micro queue. So this particular console will be logged here. Okay, before resolving. Okay, and this particular resolve is the micro queue. So before this we have pending one, this one. So this one will be logged here. Okay, this one will be logged, and now we have the promise result and then the set timeout. So this promise will be resolved first, and after resolving this will be calling this then, and this promise 2 will be logged, and then this set timeout will be executing, in which this set timeout will be executed here. Okay, let me show the output for this. So here what happens is script start, async 1 start, async 2, promise 1, script end, async 2, and then promise 2, and then set timeout. Yeah, it is working proper. Now let's go for the other question, next question. So here we have again few more consoles, wherein we have promise. So this promise will start executing, and in which the set timeout will be registered, and once after resolve then only this will be pushed, but for resolving this it will take 1000 milliseconds. So this will be registered, and then this set timeout will be registered, and then this callback is not being called here, so no worries. This process.nextTick, this will be executed. This is actually a node.js method. So this one will be consoled over here, and after that we have, this is 1000 milliseconds and the remaining two are 2000 milliseconds. So this particular promise will be resolved here, and after that this particular promise will come into this result, and then while consoling this will be consoled over here. So here the console will be uh, next take promise. So let me show all of the consoles here. So here first process and then promise, and then we have two set timeouts, this one and this one. So this one is registered first, so this callback will be executed, and this callback is there, so this one will be executed, and then this set timeout will execute, in which this set timeout will be executed. Okay, so this will be the output. So let me see the output as well. After process next tick, after 1 second, promise is printed, and then callback, and then set timeout. Yeah, it is also showing as per the expectation. Okay, so let me comment this. Let's jump into the next question. So here we have an object, and within this object we have a function, and within this function we have again another function. Okay, so while trying to call this particular sing, what will be the output, right? So here this sing will call this particular function, and within this function we have a's, we are consoling this a. Here a would be nothing but, your a would be nothing but this will be nothing but this particular whole object. Okay, this whole object, because this is a normal function. If it is an arrow function, then it will be undefined. Okay, if it is a normal function, and within the normal function this will refers to this particular object itself, and when it comes to this, when we are trying to call this particular function, here this particular function will be executed, and after this, here while trying to call this will be, I believe it should be window. Okay, so let me see the output for this. Yeah, here this particular, this is window, so window dot age is nothing but 30 here, and ideally b is window. Okay, and then a is the whole of the object. Okay, so this is the object, whole of the object, Billy names. Okay, so yeah, let me comment this down, and let's go for the other question. So here what happens is, a object which is this is assigned to b, and also this particular a count is assigned to b count, which means a count which is 0 is assigned to b count. After assigning only, the count is increasing. Okay, there won't be any change within a count or b count, so this would be same. Okay, so this would be 0 0. Let me run it and show. Yeah, this is 0 0. Let's go for the next question. So here what happening means, this is 0, and here a1 count is increasing before, which means 0 0, it is increasing before, and it is being assigned to count of b. So after increment 1 will be coming here, 1 is being assigned to b1 dot count, right? If 1 is assigned to b1 dot count, then both a1 location and b1 location are same, so 1 will be the output for both of these two items. Okay, 1 and 1 will be the output for these two items. Let me run it and show the output. So yeah, 1 and 1 will be the output for this. Let me comment this, and let's go for the next question. Okay, so here this is also one of the good question which don't make much sense, although, but latest year 6 have this particular implementation wherein while kind of getting the keys, it will kind of give the keys in an ascending way. There is no logic to this question, so let's run this and see the output for this. Let me see the output. So here s is being assigned with world. Okay, well and good. Assign is one key, 4 is another key, and hello 34, 1 and 2 are the keys, but the order of this would be quite different, wherein all of the positive values, all of the positive items will be logged first. Okay, and then at the end a negative value will be logged. That is it. Let me comment this down, and let's go for the next question. And here this is immediately invoked function. Here this particular function will be invoked with this particular one here. This one will be x, and this will be logged first here. Okay, this will be logged first, and then this particular x is nothing but this one, right? when trying to log this, it will kind of log this particular item with x value. Okay, x value is nothing but 1 here. So this will be the output for this. Let me run it. Yeah, so this is the output. Let me comment this. Let's go for the next question. So here we have this object, and this object is being assigned to object 1, and object 1 is we are changing to 20. Okay, so now we have let's say this object, let's take, okay, both object 1 and object will be this only, and here we are changing object 1 dot is to 20, which means object and object 1 will be changed because both of these references same here, and we are freezing this object, which means we are freezing that particular reference location. So when we try to change the object 1 also, we won't be able to change. Yeah, we won't be able to change this to 30, and when we try to console, it will kind of give this only. Okay, let me run this as well. So yeah, when we try to give, then it will kind of give 20 and 20 for both of these items. Yeah, so let me comment this down, and let's go for the next question. So here we have this console. This one will be logged first. Okay, this one will be logged first, and when it comes to this callback will be registered, and when it comes to this will kind of run the loop for almost 10,000 iterations. Okay, so this particular thread block will kind of run for 10,000 times here. After this 10,000, which means this one will be logged almost 10,000 times. After that, end will be logged. Okay, so this will be 10,000 times, it will log times, and then this end will be logged. After this end, this particular mid will be logged. Let me run it and see the output. Yeah, almost 10,000 times it logged actually, and at the end and bid will be logged. So let me comment this, and let's go for the next question. So here it is a kind of hoisting will happen, wherein the declarations will be moved to the top. Here this vary and let b will be moved to top. But then what, in case of hoisting, where will be assigned with undefined, but when it comes to let won't be assigned with anything. So here while trying to log, var a will give undefined, but when it comes to logging let b is not assigned with anything, so it will kind of give error. Okay, so let me run it, and so here it's nothing but undefined, and this will throw an error saying that let b cannot be accessed before. Okay, or let b reference is not the something like that. Okay, so here first one is undefined and the second one is error, wherein cannot access let b before initialization. So yeah, let me comment this down. Let's go for the next question. So here value is assigned with this Rowdy coders, and we're trying to change the index 1 for this value, which means index 1 will be this, but then here strings are immutable. So what happens is, when even though we are trying to change the value at this particular one character index, it won't get changed because these are immutable, so it won't do anything. And then while trying to output, it will give Rowdy coders itself, and while kind of logging, this will give value at 0 would be r, and value at 1 would be o itself. Okay, so let me run it and show the output. So here, yeah, this is the output, and let's go for the next question. Here we have try, catch, and finally blocks. So what happens is, if try is able to run, in that case try will output. So here try will definitely run, so try will give this firstly, and then what happens is, it will definitely go to this finally block. Okay, so this finally block will be executed at the end. If try fails to execute over here, then it will go to the catch block, and at the end it will kind of definitely execute this finally block. Finally will execute definitely, so this will give try and finally. Let me run it and see the output. So here try and finally. Yeah, let me comment this down and let's go for the next question. So here we have this flag which is true, and this particular set timeout will be registered here, okay, with 1000 milliseconds, and then this particular flag will run. Flag is true, so this go to this loop and it will kind of run this particular loop. But then, do you think this will execute after 1 second? No, it won't actually. Why? Because our call stack will kind of continuously execute this particular snippet. So our call stack won't get empty. And if our call stack is not empty, then whatever content or whatever functions are there in our task queue won't be pushed to our call stack. So this won't execute ever. It will kind of continuously print this does it execute only. So let me show it for you. So if you see, this is continuously giving does it execute only, but it is never going to this particular flag and updating it. Okay, so yeah, let me stop it, kill terminal. So yeah, let me comment this and let's go for the next question. When we try to call this again, this particular function will be hoisted, so this particular function declaration will be moved on to the top. So while calling this abc, what happens is we have three functions with abc, but then if you see, this particular function will be overwritten with this particular function, and this particular function will be overwritten with this particular function. So we have reference to only one abc at the end. So while calling this abc, we'll get only this three logged here. Okay, so let me show the output for this as well. So let me run it and see the output for this. So here it is 3. So yeah, now let me comment this down and let's go for the next question. So here we have this person object, and when we try to log this object, what happens is we have two duplicates keys which are names. So here what happens is this name and then is, and then while assigning this key again, old key will be again reassigned to this coders. So what happens is, so let me show this particular name won't be there again. Okay, so ideally this would be this way. Okay, so let me show the output for this. Okay, so here coders and then age will be printed. And yeah, let's go for the next question. Here again a kind of concatenation takes place when a number and string are added, so it will kind of give us 67. And when it comes to this, when a boolean and a 5 are added to each other, this will do a type correction to give 1. 1 plus 5 would be 6, right? And 1 plus 5 would be 6, so this will be 6. And here this will kind of convert into string and to give true 5, true 5. Okay, we run it. Yeah, so this is the output for this. Let me comment this down and let's go for the next question. So here this is similar to the previous question, wherein we are kind of calling this particular callback function. Okay, and here this var is present. So var is a function scope, so each and every time a new set timeout will be registered, but then at the end var would be equals to 6. So 6 will be called with this particular set timeout. Console will be logged for almost 6 times with 6. Okay, so let me show it. 6, yeah, 6. Why there is time gap means here we are kind of giving into, so for that time it will kind of give the time gap 666s. Okay, so yeah, let's comment this down and let's go for the next question. And here we are kind of doing assignment for this particular object, and while trying to change this object to it won't change anything in the object one, because here we are doing assignment. We are not assigning the reference, but we are assigning the content within this particular object, so it won't change anything within this object one. So this would be object one would be this only. So let me run it and show the output. So yeah, object one is this only. Let me comment this down and let's go for the next question. Here, type of null is an object. Actually, that is something that you have to remember. Type of string is an object, and type of array is an object again. These are something that you need to remember. So let me execute it and show the output for you. So here, yeah, this would be the output. And let me comment this down and let's go for the next question. So here, while trying to add again, this particular array will be converted to string, and this particular array will be converted to string. So here what happens is, one here 1 comma 2 string will be there, and this will be added to 3 comma 4 string. Okay, and while adding, what happens is this will be equals to 1 comma 2, and then concatenation actually takes place, and then 4. This way this will give. So let me run it and show the output for you. So yeah, this is the output. And let me comment this down. Let's go for the next question. And here, these are objects, and objects are stored by reference, and this object reference and this object reference are different, so it will always give false. And similarly, object reference are different, so it will give false, even though they look similar, but the reference would be different, so false. Let me run it. So yeah, let me comment this. Let's go for the next question. And here, a and b are assigned to this particular array. So these elements will be assigned to a, and this element will be assigned to b. If c is present just beside, then the 3 will be assigned to c as well. So here what will be the output means, a will be 1 and then b will be 2. Okay, so let me run the output. So here, yeah, okay, so let me comment this down and let's go for the next question, for the last question. So here, array 1 is this, and array 2 is assigned with the array 1 itself, and when pushing array 2, this particular array will be pushed with 4. So now array 1 and array 2 reference are same, so array 1 and array 2 elements will be the same itself. So here, after pushing, this will be something like this. So when while trying to console array 1 and array 2, that will give the same because the reference is same, right? So let me show the output. So yeah, and these are the most asked questions, and if you prepare these or practice these questions, this would be more than enough to crack any output based interview question. And I wanted to show that these particular output based questions will be available over here within the official Rowdy Coders website. I'll be pasting the link to this particular article in the description as well, and here you would be able to solve all of these questions at one place. After going through the video, you can check out this article, and you can solve these questions. Once you give the correct or wrong answer, and how explanation will be provided here, a proper explanation, you would be able to grab most of the JavaScript concepts through these output based questions. And if you like the content, please do subscribe to the channel. It will encourage me to create more such good content.